Asparagus is a vegetable that many people enjoy, often praised for its unique taste, health benefits, and versatility in recipes. But have you ever wondered how this elegant green spear ends up on your dinner plate? Behind the scenes, asparagus cultivation and harvesting are complex, labor-intensive processes that require years of preparation, scientific precision, and a lot of physical work. Each spring, farmers around the globe harvest millions of tons of asparagus, yet the public rarely sees the demanding journey that goes into producing it. This video dives deep into the full process, revealing how asparagus goes from soil to supermarket and why it's one of the most interesting crops in agriculture. The origins of asparagus cultivation. Asparagus, scientifically known as Asparagus officinalis, has a long and rich history dating back thousands of years. Native to coastal regions of Europe, northern Africa, and parts of Western Asia, this hardy plant was cherished by the ancient Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans, not only for its taste but also for its medicinal properties. It eventually spread across continents, becoming a staple in European kitchens and later in North and South America. Today, asparagus is grown commercially in dozens of countries, with the top producers being China, Peru, Mexico, Germany, and the United States. The plant's perennial nature means that, once established, it can produce crops for more than a decade. Preparing the land for asparagus farming. Before the first spear of asparagus ever emerges from the ground, farmers invest a tremendous amount of time preparing the land. Asparagus demands well-drained, sandy, or loamy soil with a neutral to slightly alkaline pH, usually between 6.5 and 7.5. Fields are often tested thoroughly to identify nutrient deficiencies, soil texture, and pH levels. If necessary, amendments like lime are added to raise the pH, and compost or organic matter is worked into the soil to increase fertility. After soil preparation, the land is deeply tilled to loosen compacted earth and facilitate root penetration. Drainage is another critical factor. Since asparagus roots are prone to rot if water accumulates, the fields must be graded to allow proper water runoff, or raised beds are formed to ensure the roots stay dry during heavy rains. Once the ground is ready, farmers plant asparagus using one-year-old crowns. These are root systems that resemble tangled bundles of white and brown roots. The crowns are planted in long trenches, usually 6 to 12 inches deep, and spaced about a foot apart. The trenches are only partially filled initially, and more soil is gradually added over time as the spears grow. This gradual covering process encourages the crown to send roots deeper and stabilize the plant. The growth cycle. From crown to spear. Asparagus is unlike many other crops because it is a perennial plant. After planting the crowns, farmers must wait at least 2 to 3 years before harvesting their first meaningful crop. The first year is entirely dedicated to root development. Even though spears may appear above the soil during this time, they are usually removed so the plant can focus on strengthening its underground root network. During the second year, the plants are allowed to grow into full ferns, which resemble feathery green branches. These ferns absorb sunlight and photosynthesize, storing energy in the roots for future spear production. Farmers carefully manage the crop during this time, applying fertilizers, irrigating as needed, and controlling weeds that can compete for nutrients and space. By the third year, the asparagus crowns are mature enough to handle a short harvest window. Farmers usually harvest for a few weeks before allowing the ferns to grow back and replenish energy reserves. From the fourth year onward, the asparagus can be harvested for 8-10 weeks each spring, and the crowns can continue producing healthy spears for up to 15 years if properly cared for. The short and intense harvesting season. Unlike many crops that have an extended or staggered harvest period, asparagus has a very intense and compact season. In most growing regions, harvesting begins in early spring and lasts only 8 to 12 weeks. Timing is everything because asparagus grows at a remarkable pace. Under optimal conditions, asparagus can grow up to 7 inches in a single day, meaning that fields must be checked and harvested daily, sometimes even twice a day. The ideal spear length for harvesting is usually between 6 and 9 inches. Any shorter, and the spear hasn't matured enough. Any longer, and it can become woody and fibrous. This precise timing requires constant monitoring of the fields. Most asparagus is still harvested by hand, a method that has changed little over centuries. Workers, often migrant laborers, walk along long rows of asparagus beds and cut the spears just below the soil surface using a special knife or blade. It's physically demanding work, involving hours of bending, kneeling, and repetitive motion under the sun. A single skilled worker may harvest several hundred pounds of asparagus in a day, but the job is grueling and requires significant stamina. Sorting, washing, and packing. Post-harvest processing. Once harvested, asparagus begins to lose its freshness rapidly, making post-harvest handling a race against the clock. The harvested spares are quickly transported from the field to a processing facility or packing shed, where the first step is cooling. To preserve freshness and crispness, asparagus is hydro-cooler submerged or sprayed with cold water that brings the internal temperature down to around 34 degrees Fahrenheit. After cooling, the spears are thoroughly washed to remove soil, insects, or debris. They are then sorted by size and quality. Spear thickness is an important grading criterion. Supermarkets and restaurants often prefer uniform sizes, so spears are grouped as thin, medium, thick, or jumbo. Bent or broken spears are usually discarded or sent for processing into soups, purees, or frozen products. The next step is trimming. The tough, woody bottom part of each spear is cut off, either by hand or using machines, to ensure the bundle is ready for consumption. After trimming, the spears are gathered into bunches, usually weighing about 1 pound, 450 grams. These bunches are held together with elastic bands or twine and packed into crates or cartons lined with moisture-retaining paper or ice pack. To prevent spoilage, the packaged asparagus is placed in cold storage rooms until it's ready to be shipped to markets. Thanks to modern logistics and refrigerated transport, fresh asparagus can reach distant destinations within 24 to 48 hours of harvest, maintaining its quality and taste. The global asparagus trade. Asparagus is a globally traded commodity, and modern farming has made it possible for consumers in North America or Europe to enjoy fresh asparagus nearly year-round. Countries in different hemispheres coordinate production to meet global demand across seasons. For example, when it's winter in Europe and North America, it's peak harvesting season in Peru and Mexico. Peru is one of the largest exporters of asparagus, especially to the US and European markets. Its coastal desert climate provides ideal growing conditions nearly year-round, and its established export infrastructure ensures fast delivery. Mexico, being close to the United States, is another major supplier, particularly during the off-season for US growers. Meanwhile, China leads the world in total asparagus production, although much of its crop is consumed domestically. Germany and Spain are key players in the European market, with Germany especially known for its love of white asparagus, which is considered a springtime delicacy. The journey of asparagus from field to fork is a testament to both agricultural science and human perseverance. From the years of soil preparation and careful planting to the fast-pacing, labor-heavy harvest season and meticulous post-harvest handling, the process is nothing short of extraordinary. Millions of tons of asparagus are grown and harvested each year, thanks to a delicate balance of tradition, innovation, and hard work. Next time you savor a tender spear of asparagus, take a moment to appreciate the dedication, planning, and effort that went into bringing it to your plate. So that's it for today. If you like this video, then please hit the like and subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching.